And welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm so happy to have you. So my previous subscribers, welcome back to the channel. So for today's video in particular, we're going to be talking about and discussing lynching. It's a very sad topic to unfortunately talk about, but it's very common practice in the United States back around the 60s. I believe it was really around the 60s, but I could be wrong. Well, actually, you know what? Now that I come to think about it, it's been a very common practice well before the start of the United States being built. But a lot of people along the entire coast of the United States, Canada, and Mexico have been lynched in some capacity. Majority of lynching take place within the jurisdiction of the United States. And you're probably asking yourself, like, Chris, what do you mean? It started around this time frame. Also, we have the witch trials as well. They also got lynched. It just wasn't seen the same way, but they were also hung on the tree with a rope. So, the reason why this is important is because the United States is undergoing its Pluto return. And Pluto return forces the United States to see its shadow, what's in front of it, to see the darkness for what it was. Because a lot of people, for some reason, forgot that racism still exists. They've been brought into this idea that diversity means progress. And yes, in a way it does. But they believe in some messed up way that progress and diversity doesn't have to be worked on. And that, we can come together as a collective. But now we are seeing now publicly, outwardly open, that there are racism across the United States. That is not something the United States is ever going to recover from, at least if we don't face our shadow. And back in 2020, I talked about how racism was going to evolve in the modern age, and it was going to involve minorities in particular. Minorities were going to be participating for the very first time, unlike in the 1960s, for example, in these type of acts as well. Crime against their own kind, in the name of white supremacy ideas. And normally it would be white supremacy and ideas, but has since then modernized to represent a larger demographic. So in this instance, you're probably asking yourself, well, Chris, this doesn't make any sense. Well, what I've gotten back in the past from Spirit back in 2020 was that white supremacy was going to evolve along many minority groups, and it's not going to be substantiated only against Caucasian Europeans. It's not going to include lighter skin tones of every race. And altogether, they will push this divide between, what do you call it? The divide between lighter and darker tones. And they were going to be pushing the new age, the new era. And you kind of already see that already with the Latinos in some aspect, them trying to disenfranchise their own kind. They try to vote against each other, to try to vote against their own interests and stuff like that. You already see that repetitively. We see that actually, believe it or not, it's actually kind of shocking. A lot of people who I talk to who are where I live, who are of a darker descendant of different races, all indicate to me that they're like, oh yeah, Trump is great, blah, 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 he's helping our people, blah, blah, blah. But then they don't realize, or they do, they just don't care, that Donald Trump says things against their own kind. So how can you say that you're voting for your own kind and then vote against it, knowing full well who that guy is, unless you actually don't care? Unless in some messed up way you do know, and you're just using that as a cover-up, not only cover for Donald Trump, but also cover for your hateful ideology. And that's what we're coming to the conclusion that hate can extend racial barrier. That there is no barrier that stops hate. The only thing that can stop hate is love. And so in this video, we need to talk about lynching. It's a very important topic. It's not really being talked about much on any news outlet, and it's my job to bring the news to you. So, we're going to talk about the lynching. We're going to try to find the name of the boy who unfortunately got lynched in Mississippi. So far, news articles have not said anything about this individual's name. I'm doing my very best to talk about that, to see if I can find the individual's name, because they are important. They have a life. They are a person. They are an individual, and we need to respect that. Anyway, for a moment, this video is just for entertainment and for educational purposes only as well. This video is being recorded on Tuesday, September 16th at 11:59 a.m. Well, p.m., but now it is, as of right now, as I was saying, it is now Wednesday, September 17th at 12 o'clock on the dot, midnight, when I'm recording this specific video. So, if you want to help out the channel grow, you can do so by liking, commenting, subscribing, and the bell icon, engaging with the content. Sharing this video with others really help boost the algorithm here on this YouTube channel. And better yet, go into my comment section or the description, follow my Blue Sky account and my Facebook group, and I will personally notify you when I do post and upload next. Alright, so we have a lot to get through in today's video. I'm going to be a very short video because it is midnight and I want to sleep. I'm sure you guys do as well, or you're probably watching this in the morning. Who knows? Doesn't matter. The whole point is we're doing a video. We're going to get this word going. And let me see if I can find this boy's name because that's important. So just give me a moment. Okay, well, let's talk about what lynching is, because that's important. The context here, the definition is important. Lynching. Lynching is an extrajudicial killing by a group. It's most often used to characterize informal public execution by a mob in order to punish an alleged or convicted transgressor or to intimidate others. So really, lynching is very common in the United States, not only on the end of the mob, but in this aspect, the mob was like the KKK. Now we have neo-Nazis, we have all these. But again, we had that problem back in the 1900s, so this is not abnormal for the United States. This is pretty common. The fact is that a lot of people have gotten too comfortable with killings across the United States that this doesn't faze them. But it should faze them because this is alarming. Anyway, let's go ahead. The main purpose of today's video, we're going to talk about the event that happened, and we're also going to talk about why is lynching coming back in the United States or becoming more prevalent. This is the word I should probably be using, the word prevalent. And what does this mean for the United States in terms of political turn? And that's what we're about to find out. Let me just find that boy's name because I just sidetracked myself for a minute and I ended up never finding the name. Okay. So it says here, body of black student is found hanging from a tree in Mississippi. A black student was found hanging from a tree. Police say there's no sign of foul play. That sounds like to me that the police are complicit. Let's see. Apparently had a broken leg, which means that if I'm correct based on this, depending on when he had the broken leg, he could have had a broken leg as they were putting him up, and somebody who was pulling him up was only by a few, which means that this is a small group of people who, based on off of my understanding already, it seems like a small group of people who were trying to pull the rope of this individual, who must have been heavier, up this tree branch and accidentally let go of the rope, and the guy fell and snapped his leg. Or it could be either when it happened when he died or before his death, depending on whether rigor mortis occurred or didn't occur just yet. But that seems to be what I'm understanding based off of this, which means that there was only about 3 to 2 people participating in this. So it seemed to be students or very more like twig-like men. I don't see women in this aspect, so I don't think it's a woman. Okay, let's see. Can I find the name of this person? Trey Reed and Corey Dukakis. I think that's how you pronounce it. And Brandon Mann. Okay, who's who? The death of Trey Reed and Corey Dukakis in Mississippi. Oh, so it's 2 men. Okay, that's the name. Okay. Let's find out. This is like a murder mystery video at this point. If you have watched my British video, this video I picked, this deck I used, I was actually going to make a Trump video, but I was like, you know what, I should do this instead. So the soul journey we're going to use for both men. So let's take a look. Let's find out what happened. Okay, so spiritual angels tell me about the lynching of 2 men in Mississippi that were found hanging on a tree. At least we found our names. It took a while. Like, it took like so many articles just to find one name. That's ridiculous. The propaganda is insane. Okay. I'm just glad I was able to remember to do this video. I was supposed to do this video earlier, but I completely forgot. Okay. Anything else you'd like to add about these 2 men? Where are the 2 men now? I'm sort of like, my guys are like not here. I'm like, I know that. I know they're not here. So that means that they transitioning. So maybe possibly what my spirit guy said. Oh, look, it's 555. So there is. Here, let me just show you. I'm going to take a picture of it so you can see. Yeah, so I have like alarm clock. And on my alarm clock, it's never the right hours. Like it's 12 o'clock, but it's 5 hours, almost 6 hours ahead. The next time it's going to be 3 hours ahead, 4 hours behind. This clock, because it's surrounded by a whole bunch of crystals, it can't get the time right. So, but it's notable nonetheless, because every time I see numbers on there, it always means something significant. So they did transition. So number 3 means transitional change. So they did change into the light. So they're not here with us. So the spirit does not haunt the ground. Thank God for that, because we really want them people to get the next phase of their life going. All right, so we have the abundance card in reverse. It means I am limitless being, and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. This color represents the root chakra. This represents I am. So there was already a target on their back for both of these men. One of them was specifically, one guy, I think this was Trey. If I get his name right, let me just, Trey Reed, I think it was. Let's make sure I got his name right. Yeah, Trey Reed. And then Corey Dukakis, which is health. I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. This feels like Corey, if I'm right, he might be the one with the broken leg. This is the health card in reverse. And then here we have, so those men were targeted due to race. So this was definitely a racial issue. And then this guy here broke his leg. Okay. So now we understand what happened, why they were targeted. Okay. Now we go into the growth aspect. I'm also hearing money. I think one of the guys owned money. So there's different motives for why these two men died, but similar concepts. So both being black, and then one owed money, and the other broke his leg. The other one is just because he's black. And he's just I wonder if they were friends or there was some sort of connection, because this one would have never died if he was around this one. Okay, so we have the growth card. The growth card is reversed. This is the yellow chakra. This means boost confidence. I'm getting football, like getting some sort of sport here. I don't know if they were a sport athlete. I don't know. But it does tell me that there's a sport here. Or maybe they died near like a football field, or maybe like a soccer field. I don't know. I don't live in Mississippi. I don't know what's nearby, but that's what I'm getting. There's a trade by one of these sports centers or sport areas where people play. That's where they were found. We have empathy. I am open to seeing both sides of the situation. This is the reverse to the third eye color, which represents they were found in this area. They were found near, like I said before, around like a sporting area. So either like a football field or soccer field or maybe a baseball field or even a basketball court. Could be something like that. I'm also seeing tennis. So it could be one of those, but I do feel like it was outdoor. That's definite. So at least we now know the environment in which they were found. We know the reason and the intention. Now we have to figure out what this is. We have friendship. I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. Okay, so that makes sense. Because remember how I said this one wouldn't have died if he wasn't with him at the time of his death? This is friendship. So they were meant, in the soul concept, they were meant to go together, despite the fact that if he wasn't here, he would have been alive. Because that was not by destiny. Not saying that lynching is acceptable. It's by any means not acceptable. But in terms of the soul contract, they were supposed to die together. We do also have here the color blue, which means freedom. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. It doesn't feel like they were very happy in their situation, particularly in their own life. I do feel like they feel like there was always a target on their back, and in particularly because of their color. The reason why I mentioned that in particular is because they felt very scared in Mississippi. I don't know what's going on in Mississippi. Yes, we know Mississippi's racist and all that. That's not abnormal. That's not a psychic prediction. But there's something going on with Mississippi that made it more dangerous than it has been in the past. So if you guys live in Mississippi, or you know or are more familiar with the news around Mississippi, or you know people from Mississippi, if you can just give me a little bit of a highlight in the comment section, why did it feel like the energy shifted into more fear-based mode compared to what Mississippi used to be in the past? And when I say in the past, I mean like the past 10, 15 years. Mississippi has been a lot lighter, but all of a sudden it kind of shifted into very fear-based. Maybe there's more of an outlandish group. Maybe there's danger, like, you know how like we talk about MS-13? I wonder if there's his own gang and people actually are scared, because this doesn't seem like it's just an outlier. It seems like a collective energy in Mississippi. So there's something here that's shifting the energy in Mississippi to a darker, more fear-based initiative. Interesting. Okay, so we also have here as well on the bottom of the deck here, we have Perseverance. This is the purple color, because purple color means the eye, which means I cannot see beyond, which means at the time they were attacked, it was in the fog, so it must have happened either late at night or when it was probably around like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, or it was early in the day, around 6 to 7 o'clock to 5 o'clock in the morning when it's still dark out and there's a lot of wet fog. I assume it's going to take place somewhere near a swamp area where it gets very foggy, very misty, where the visibility in terms of distance was very low, prompting for that attack, which means this was premeditated. But because it was also premeditated, there was a hiccup in the situation where the guy's leg was broken, according to what the news article said. I did not figure this out. This is really what the news article said. Just make sure I want to put that out there. That there might have been a hiccup, or they didn't intend to see these guys until later on, but unfortunately, it was like premeditated murder, essentially. But because they saw them, they sought the opportunity to do right then and there. So that's what I'm getting. The top of the deck here as well. What's on top of the deck? Judgment. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. This is the dark blue card. This represents the blend between the throat chakra and the third eye, which ironically is similar to this color. This is like a dark blue. This allows me, the reason why I wear this color now is to be able to communicate more effectively with the third eye and my throat chakra more to you guys. But the judgment card is saying that there was a clear motive and a clear judgment to that. So I spoke what I saw, which means that this person who attacked them was heavily judging them with racial slurs. I'm also getting as well, this must have been a hate group, or a group of kids who were very hateful, but it does appear to be that way. It doesn't seem to be like older adults like the KKK. It does seem to be like more of like an internal Leon. Hold on, I'm getting like a French word here. What's the word? Legion. They're saying Legion, something like that. We have here as well, we have failure in reverse. So they might have been told that they were a failure, but they internally know that they weren't. I think these kids were actually very bright and very successful. They met their demise, but their life didn't go unnoticed. There is a message here. There is a message. Let me find what that message is. Okay, so they're saying here the angel prayers. We're going to use this. I was originally going to use the life purpose deck, but they were like, no, use the angel deck. I haven't used this deck in a while, so let's see what messages are coming through. Alright, so Tyler Reed and the Caucus. What message do you have based on their death with the lynching? A lot of cards. Do we need this? Okay, they're telling me just to take those 2 cards, so that's what we'll do. What's the 2 messages just on top of it? The first one is the miracle of prayer. Angel Felon. Never heard of that. Sorry, Archangel. But it says here, miracle of prayer. It basically says that prayer cannot solve problems. You have to actually do something if you really want to get things done. And I think that their death is going to mark the fact that prayer does not work. I think it's just something that people tell themselves so that they do the bare minimum. If you really want to do something, you have to put the work in. You can't just do halfies. That doesn't work like that. We also have here, don't hate, meditate. Interesting. The word don't hate, meditate. I love that. But also, it allures to, because it's a word that is saying here, don't hate, meditate. There was actual hate here. There was actual hateful intentions. So this must have been a religious, or people who were religious, who have hateful ideology. So I wonder if this is Christian nationalists or something along those lines. Let's see what the bottom deck is. We have here, take a step back. Okay, that makes sense. They had to take a step back to pull the rope up. Okay. The top of the deck here, we have clear your vibe. Archangel Metatron. Energy field. This was intentional. Holy shit. See, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh my god, guys, I'm so sorry. Yeah, this was intentional. Holy cow. So this was intentional. So they intended to hurt these people. So this was, like I said, premeditated. But this was also pre-designed. This wasn't just an outlier. This must be a young group of kids or like some sort of like youth group or whatever it is, because they did this with intention. And there's like this young group. Maybe it might not be young people, but maybe the group itself is young. But holy cow. Oh my god. Okay, anything else? Okay, so they're saying I did enough. So I guess this is it for the lynching aspect for the murder mysteries. We're not going to talk about lynching in the United States and what that means for the United States going forward. Because that's a problem. Okay. We'll put this away after. Okay, so Conspiracy Angel, tell me about lynching in the United States. What the heck is going on with lynching in the United States? Why are people getting hanged up trees like Mississippi? What is going on in the United States right now? Are we having a repeat with Pluto return? What exactly is going on? Okay, we have the Strength card in reverse. Okay, so there's frustration about the president. And this was the message to send him. Okay, so what they're doing is they're using these people who they're killing via lynching to send the president messages in code. Interesting, okay. That's also very sad. Because they feel like the president's not listening to them, so let's do what he pay attention to. This would be this. White supremacy is the only way to get his attention, so by doing that, we'll get on his radar. We have the Justice card in reverse. Imbalance. They want the attention of the Republican Party. And they're doing it behind the scenes. This is the Eight of Pentacles. This is a message. Another message. So we have Charlie Kirk's death, and then we have the lynching. We have the Emperor. They want the message of the King, the Queen of Pentacles, because he holds the power or Pentacles that they want. He holds something for them that these people, this organization, this group wants. It's kind of like, you know how QAnon just was out of blue, and then all of a sudden Trump started acknowledging it, and it becomes this big massive thing. That's what they want. They want this organization, this group, want recognition. And the only way, the fast-paced way to get it would be through Trump. Because Trump would embrace that. He wouldn't ban it. He would embrace that. We have the Strength card. This is the first thing I'm getting here is the lack of power, the lack of control, inability to be in control. And then we have the Star card. This is not an influential group yet. This is the Star card. This is the beginning of an influential group. I think we might be seeing a rise or something. Holy cow. We have the Star card in reverse. This is the presidency. They want power at the presidency. They want protection from the president. We have the Knight of Swords reverse coming in. They think they're the private militia. They think they're Trump's private militia to scare people. I think this really going to catch a lot of people by surprise. Because we have darkness. Running to be his dark knight. That's what I'm hearing, the dark knights. Running to protect his dark knights, essentially, to keep them out from voting. Here you have, as well as we have the Eight of Swords here. Mental. These people are mentally insane. But so is Trump, so what difference does it make? And we have here as well, underneath the Strength card in reverse, we have the Fool card. The Fool card comes in as like, oh, I'm this big baddie, you know, I'm coming in with this proposal, this idea, this concept, but I'm going to be very foolish and take this risk. So what they did was a risk, and they're hoping it pays off. Because here you have the Star card in reverse, and the Star card is they want acknowledgement from the president. Remember, Donald Trump has said many times before that there's no such thing as bad press. Any press is good press. That's what they're hoping for. What we have here is the Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords this is a threat, not only to Trump, but also if Trump betrays them. So what does it mean? It means that they are looking for recognition from the president. Good or bad, doesn't matter. But this is an organization that is serious. Because it essentially is trying to send a message to the president saying that if you don't take us seriously, or you stop to take us seriously, or you stop supporting us, or you try to do anything to betray us, We will do everything in our power to remove you. Remove you. This is removing somebody from the presidency to attempt to kill you. Essentially, this is a death threat. Indirectly, Donald Trump is going to fall into the trap. But essentially, this is an organization, a group of people, a cult, whatever you want to call it, who is so adamant to be acknowledged by your president that if the president or the hero betrays them, they will feel like it's their duty to sacrifice him in order to save him, because they say, oh, he's being crazy. He doesn't mean that. So if we kill him, he's still our hero. It's that idea that they're not so much protecting him, they're protecting the idea they have of him. That's what I'm getting. Because we have the Knight of Swords, and the Knight of Swords means coming in hot and heavy, but under the seams, which means that this is under the fog, hot and heavy under the fog. And then we have the Six of Pentacles, which means imbalance. Imbalance, doing dirty work, getting hit. So like doing the work that ICE and other agencies cannot do without getting in trouble. They say, hey, listen, if we do this for you, we can do this and this. We can remove these people, but you won't be associated with it because it'll be our organization. We will be the one responsible. Again, this video is just for entertainment purposes only and for educational purposes only as well. But essentially, that is the intention here. The intention is to have us take the blame. And I'm talking metaphorically as if I'm them for a moment. And Trump doesn't take the blame. But this is a humanitarian crisis. This is a problem that's probably going to blow up into the 1,000 proportions. We have here underneath here, we have the Hermit card in reverse, the darkness, the dark nights, right? We have the Page of Pentacles, opportunity. Opportunity for growth, an opportunity. So what we're hoping for is an opportunity from the president. And here you have it, despite this Eight of Swords, what I'm also getting now that I'm getting a hit psychically, that this is relating to the lynched and the tying up of people, which makes sense, because that's what lynching is. You tie people up, you tie them to a tree. And here you have is people going up. So yeah, I do feel like this is the intent. This is a goal. There's an ambition here. Will Donald Trump acknowledge this organization, group, or cult for the lynchings? Yeah. Or maybe no. Maybe he won't. The card that falls right on the president, and I asked specifically about Donald Trump. We never spoke about Donald Trump and them forcing it. Depending on how Donald Trump responds, if he supports them and betrays them later, they're going to kill him. Or if he just betrays them altogether, they're going to kill him. This is the death card. Holy cow. Okay, this is not what I expected. Okay, hold on. We're going to act, are they going to kill Trump? Because the death card upright also means a rebirth, which means a reimagining of something of the past. That could be what the death card could mean as well, so keep that in mind. What the group or people or cult or whatever organization that did the lynching, that's trying to get Trump's attention, will they possibly be interested in, assassinating the president? Oh, they're interested. Oh yeah, they're going to want to be successful. These are people who are very ambitious. Because the top of the deck, this is the top of the deck. The four stories here, it means political ending, political death. What's after that? Betrayal, the ten of swords. So yeah, oh yeah, depending on how Donald Trump reacts, this ain't going to bode well either way. We have the Two of Wands. Here, the Two of Wands is, these are a group outwardly looking. So these are the group looking to expand. And here you have is the Eight of Swords. It's telling me this is the group looking to expand its killing or its influence. This makes sense. We have the Four of Wands reversed. We're acting, will this organization, group, or group of people, collective, try to go after the president based on his response. This is the Four of Wands here, take down the house, is what I'm hearing. We have the Four of Cups reversed. And the Four of Cups reversed is simply telling me that there will be a refusal or proposal. So they're going to try to send a message. That's essentially what this is. Send a message, see how he responds. If he doesn't approve the message, then we go after him. We eliminate the enemy, essentially. We have the 7 of Swords here. The 7 of Swords, oh, you want, I'm also hearing as well. I'm also hearing that, what to call it? If they do try to do this, they're going to blame it on a black person, because what they're going to do is, well, it could be someone of a darker skin tone. I don't think it might just be a black person. It might just be anyone of a darker skin tone. I'm getting what they're going to do, and hear me out here, just hear me out. Again, this video is just for entertainment, educational purposes only as well. I'm getting an indication from Spirit for a moment that if they were to do this against the President of the United States, they would, kill him, and then kill an individual that they held hostage, essentially, right after the death of that individual to showcase, oh, he did it, and he killed himself, or she killed herself. And so she must be the targeter. That's what they're going to do. They're going to use that as justification. That's really bad. That's actually worse. That's really bad. Oh, God. Oh, God, that's literally what I got. With the 7 of Swords here, it means to steal somebody's life. To steal somebody's life. And we're asking the question, do they have the intention? Oh, yeah, they do. Oh, yeah, they do. This is a group that's not messing around. I wouldn't even want to be anywhere near the group. This is the 5 of Wands here, and here we have it. They will do it, and they will stop at nothing for victory. This is the 6 of Wands. They will do whatever they can to be successful. So I guess Donald Trump goes to Mississippi and piss off the wrong group, or I don't know how big this group is. It could be across multiple state lines. He could end up dead. Alright, so if that's the case, Spirits and Angels, tell me, how will Donald Trump respond? Like, even if you don't acknowledge it, you'll still respond, right? He had trouble under his feet. This is more problematic than the Epstein files at some point. We have the Queen of Wands reverse. This is spirituality. This is a religion nutcase. This is religion too. We have the Queen of Cups. Trump doesn't really know what to do. He's watching very closely, but he hasn't studied anything. And here you have it, the 6 of Swords reverse. I feel like there was a message, but it was hidden. Like, it was sent to him. Like, I feel like I'm seeing blood being written somewhere. Yeah, I'm seeing blood being written somewhere, but it was hidden. Like, it's like a note or something. And it was only given to certain people. It's like top clearance information. Could it involve the president? And that type of thing would cause a scandal. We have the Queen of Cups, and then followed by the 6 of Swords reverse, which means trouble for the sitting incumbent. Time is ticking. I'm getting a ticking time bomb. And here we have the 5 of Swords here. I think either way, I think he's going to have to acknowledge the group. I don't think he's going to put up a fight. And if he does, yeah, here's the Emperor. If he put up a fight, what's happened to the Emperor? Here's the Queen of Pentacles. Right, this is his power, his influence. We have here, and the 10 of Pentacles. Because the Emperor card comes in right after he makes a decision. The Queen of Pentacles, which is power, the woman, the female, they're both looking at something. And here you have is what ends the 10 of Pentacles. His power, his money, his influence. There's something here that's big. I don't know what this is. This is like bigger than even I could think. Maybe if you guys can decode it, you might be able to figure it out. But I did not, to be honest with you guys, I didn't think we were going to get to this. I thought it was more of like, the historical aspect. I didn't think it was going to be leading to this, if you will. Yeah, kind of strange, if you will. Again, this video is just for entertainment, for educational purposes only as well. We're probably going to have to do a follow-up, so if you guys want to comment your questions or what you guys think, be careful. Just be careful with the words you're using. It may trigger YouTube to delete your comments, so just be careful. Use some code words if you have to. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I love you. I'll see you all soon. Peace out. I love you.